Welcome, happy Valentine's Day. This is Edie Sowers, and I am a coach and a teacher and a trainer, and I help professional Christian women to thrive and be everything that God created them to be, so that they have more than enough to give to their most important people and things. And I do this by going live once a week on Facebook and kind of doing some virtual one-way coaching. I publish blogs, I send newsletters to announce different events and things. So I do one-on-one coaching, group coaching. If any of that interests you, you can find me on my website. The link is in the comments that you'll find with this video. So today, we're going to talk about getting rid of clutter and the value that that has in our life. So I'm sure y'all have all probably been aware of the recent popular show, I think it's on Home and Garden TV, about helping people to get rid of the clutter in their home and to get organized. So I'm going to show you a very easy 3-step way to start making progress on this that's not overwhelming. Anybody can do this. And I want to tell you a little story to kind of prove this point. I had a client one time whose home I had been in, and it was like walking into the Container Store. Everything was organized, it was neat, it was tidy, it was clean, and it was amazing. You know, all these little containers, everything perfectly neat and tidy. And I thought, well, when we get to the decluttering part of our coaching, she's going to be like, well, I don't need that. But no, she said, no, I definitely want to do this. I have some areas in my life that I want to get rid of the clutter. And so what she did was she worked on some of her things in her desk. And she came back to me time after time. After we finished working together, and I would see her or talk to her, she would say, remember that class we did, the decluttering thing that we did when we were coaching? She said, I still benefit from that. So I was so proud. I felt like a proud mother hen, you know. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, I have had a client whose life is kind of not organized at all, who really feels overwhelmed and like she just can't make any progress in this area. And so what I did with her is what I'm going to talk to you about today. And she did this. She just followed the simple steps and took my advice, did what I suggested she do. Plus, we had the added accountability of coaching on a regular basis, which helped her to really follow through. But she also had great progress. And she told me that it wasn't just the fact that she was proud of her home when people came over, but she was amazed at how doing that little job in her life created so much more productivity in her life and efficiency in her thought processes and her memory, and her whole life seemed to just open up. So this can be a profound experience. And so anyway, I want to teach y'all a real simple little process about this. As usual, I have my notes, so thank you for your patience when I flip pages around and if I glance down at my notes. So anyway, there's 3 steps, but actually there's a 4th really important step. So number 1, what I want you to do is to pick a specific, small, doable thing in your home that you can commit to working on. Number 2 is you're going to set a short time limit. Number 3, when the timer goes off, you're going to stop and walk away. And number 4, the most important part, I think, is actually honoring your commitment to yourself and following through. So let's talk about number 1. Pick a specific small spot in your home or at work. This could be like one drawer in your desk, like my super organized client did. It could be just the shoe part of your closet. It could be maybe the lingerie drawer in your dresser. So let's say, instead of saying, I'm going to go clean out my closet, that's my way I'm going to attack the clutter and get organized. That can seem so overwhelming that you never even start because you feel like it's going to take hours and hours and hours. So that's why I say, pick one spot, like your shoes or something, unless you're like Imelda Marcos. And unless you're pretty young, you're going to know who I'm referring to. She was this lady, a Philippine leader in the Philippines that had like gazillion shoes. Anyway, it might be a little, maybe if that is the case, you'll just have to say, okay, I'm going to organize my boots, or I'm going to organize my flats or my running shoes or whatever. Anyway, the point is one small area. Or pick your desk, and if it's covered with paper, say, I'm just going to pick this pile right here. If it's in your kitchen pantry, for example, you might want to say, I'm going to just do this shelf, just this part. The point is, pick one small section. So steps 2 and 3, I'm going to combine because they're closely related. You're going to set a short time limit, 10 minutes, and you're going to set a timer, either on your phone or on your microwave or something like that. If you have a stopwatch, set 10 minutes, and you're going to say go, and you're going to jump in, and you are going to start sorting, going through things that you can throw out, keep, reorganize, whatever. Get rid of the clutter that's making you have this mess. When the timer goes off, that's it. You're done. Walk away, feel good about it, leave it, knowing that you're going to come back and do the same thing the next day. So what happens, the temptation with a lot of people is you get started, you're on a roll, the timer goes off, and you're like, oh, I've got time. I just want to keep going, keep going. I urge you to just stop. Honor the time limit, stop, walk away, knowing that the next day you're going to come back and you're going to be able to continue. Because what happens, once you get started, you start feeling energized and excited, and you're on a roll and you don't want to stop. But if you do that, you're going to end up spending a lot longer, and then it's going to be tiring. And then when the next day, when it's time to come back and do it again, you're going to think, well, I don't have that much time. That was too hard. But if you keep it short and sweet, no problem. Baby steps, my friend. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to walk away and leave it and let the motivation stick around for the next day. So ultimately, what you're doing by doing this short 10-minute thing each day is you're creating a daily habit. Once you get the closet done, and once you get the kitchen done, or the living room, or the desk, or the office, whatever it is, then you're going to have the habit. 10 minutes a day is all you're going to need to just do a quick sweep through to, pick things up, put things away, and you'll find that by doing that on a regular basis, because it's already a habit, it'll be so easy to maintain in the way that you want. So I mentioned earlier, so that's step 1, 2, and 3. Pick a small spot, something very doable, so that you can have a win right away, and that creates momentum. Number 2, you're going to set a timer on your phone or whatever, 10 minutes. When the timer goes off, after 10 minutes, you're going to stop and walk away. So the 4th thing I mentioned, which is really, really important, is following through. Now, I cannot make you do this. I'm not your mom. You're an adult. You are going to be responsible for yourself. And I've talked about this before, honoring your commitments to yourself. So by saying, I'm going to put this on my calendar, and I suggest, by the way, that you do put it on your calendar, because if you don't schedule it, you'll forget about it, and then you won't get it done. And then you'll beat yourself up feeling bad about it. So put it on your calendar, follow through, get it done, and feel great about it. That's the benefit of coaching, is that you've got somebody that you're checking in with, and there's that accountability. So if you don't have a coach, then get a friend, somebody that will kind of hold your feet to the fire and help you to follow through on this, because this is something every single one of my clients I've ever worked with, whether it was in a one-on-one coaching situation or in a group situation or in a class, everyone comes back to me later and says, I had no idea this was going to have such a huge impact on me. So do it. Honor yourself and do that. So I want to call you to action, friend. I don't want you just sitting there and watching and listening and saying, oh, yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to do this and I'll do it someday. I want you, when you quit watching this video, to get out your calendar and find 10 minutes and designate 10 minutes and figure out the spot you're going to work on. And then when that time pops up, actually do it. Start today. It's only 10 minutes. And you can do anything for 10 minutes, right? I know you can do it. Even if you feel like what you're tackling is just one little blip in the big scheme of things. It matters. A little bit here, a little bit there. It really does matter. So go take action. I've put together a little checklist like I do usually each week. The link will be in the comments, so you can go download. There's a little reminder of what the steps are. Not that that's hard to remember, but on the back is a great checklist. It's kind of like doing an inspection in your house, sort of, where it has different things to check. Make sure that you're on track. I think you'll find it helpful. And if you want to read the blog article, I have the link to that too in the comments. So I would love to hear from you if you are taking on this challenge. And if you email me or you comment in Facebook, I promise I will reply. I reply to everyone that comments to me in Facebook or DMs me in Instagram or emails me, because I love to follow up with you, like kind of like a virtual coach, to keep you headed in the right direction. So that's it for today. I hope that you'll get your calendar out, schedule your 10 minutes, get going, and you'll start seeing huge rewards, believe me. And I will see you back here next week. Same time, same place. I was a little bit late today because I had an appointment that had been scheduled for a while. So happy Valentine's Day. I hope you go do something special with your sweetheart tonight, and that someone does something very special for you, because you deserve it. You are a hardworking, committed person who sacrifices a lot for other people. And if I could reach out and give you a virtual hug, a big hug in person, I'll do it. I'll just do it virtually. So love you. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next week. Bye. I can't get this to end. For some reason, it's frozen. I don't know if I'm still on video or not, but I'm going to see if I can figure this out. So I'll see you later. What do you think, Rusty? You a good boy? Let's see if I'm still on. You gotta love technology, right? I think I am still on. I can't get this thing to stop, so let me see. I may just have to unplug the camera. So